Good evening, everyone. We'll call this meeting to order at 5:45 p.m. Roll call, please.
Alderperson Evans.
Present.
Hurt.
Here.
Barnes.
Here.
Swanson. Here. Parker.
Here.
Poulos.
Here.
Healy.
Here.
And Mayor Harris.
Present. Would everyone please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? And after that, please remain standing for a moment of silence. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Agenda item 5.
Vote to approve the agenda.
Move to approve.
Second.
There's been a first and a second. Is there any discussion? Roll call, please.
Alderperson Barnes.
Yes.
Swanson.
Yes.
Parker.
Aye.
Poulos.
Aye.
Healy.
Aye.
Evans.
Aye.
And Hurt.
Aye.
Agenda item 6.
Presentation regarding the intergovernmental support agreement with the Rock Island Arsenal.
Good evening, everyone. Hear me all right? Yes. I think this is my first time. Was it? I don't think you're on. Oh, there we go. I think this is my first time presenting in the new council chambers. Just slightly more intimidating than it was before. Really excited to be here tonight with everyone. Before we get started, I'd like to make a couple brief introductions. Gary Koski, he's the Public Works Director for the Rock Island Arsenal. He was unfortunately not able to be here tonight. They had a fire to put out with some electricity matters. And then Jerry Vesey, he's the Chief of Operations. And then we have Katie Carey, who is a General Engineer. And Jeff, I'm sorry, your last name? Hayes? Jeffrey Hayes. And he's one of the engineering technicians at the Arsenal. And if it wasn't for these guys, we wouldn't be here tonight. So we would like to extend our thanks to them for the confidence that they have in the city of Rock Island. And I would also like to give a shout out to our personnel. This whole thing started in 2019. And, you know, when you think about like the city of Moline, you unequivocally think about John Deere, right? And if you think of East Moline, you think of Harvester Works. But when we talk about the Rock Island Arsenal, it's usually in a regional context. So this was always kind of personal to us. And in 2019, when the Arsenal put out a solicitation to all the communities throughout the Quad Cities for intergovernmental services, we were really excited for that opportunity because it is our name on that island. So hopefully tonight we can, really what we're going to present tonight is really the holy grail of that intergovernmental support agreement, and we really want to see this through. And we know, we thank the Arsenal for their confidence in us, and really this was made possible by all our people over the years just going over there and doing a good job. So that's what's created this opportunity, and we're really excited about it. So we can just dive right in. Next slide. Or do you want to write any click, or is there a clicker? Or? Rob, next slide. All right, well. Oh, here we go. All right. So kind of just some background here. So originally when this all started, the Arsenal solicited the communities in the Quad Cities. It was the federal government's priority to start integrating bases with the local communities for several reasons. Some of that's cost savings, some of that's level of service. And so when the Arsenal put this out, Rock Island, Moline, we went over there, and it started with just picking up residential trash on the island and some recycling services. And we went over there, and like I said, our people just went over there and did a good job. And then over time, it kind of progressed into our water treatment, some distribution maintenance, electrical maintenance, We do the police, do some radios, we do fire extinguishers. So over the years, we've kind of slowly expanded that level of service. Tonight, after a few years of providing those services, we were approached about what the Arsenal referred to as their grounds maintenance performance work statement. So this includes, we got kind of some of the federal lingo up there, but this is mowing, landscaping, trees, pavement clearance, which would be snow removal, facility maintenance, what they call horizontal, which would be street maintenance, essentially. And so they reached out to us, asked us if we'd be interested in that. And full disclosure, snow is a huge production. It's the least favorite part of my job. And so thinking, it was a little intimidating thinking about, do we really want to get involved in the snow removal for, an area like the size of the village of Milan? So that was a little intimidating. It still is intimidating, but they twisted our arms a little bit. And again, kind of that civic pride came in. And it's like, hey, they're reaching out to us because they have confidence in us. And we have, Mike and I said, let's go get this thing. Our people can do it. And so here we are. So we submitted our preliminary proposals in early 24. And then there's a lot that goes into that. And part of this is it is a huge scope of work. So again, you're really taking on, like the equivalent of the village of Milan. So, one of the ways you also have to be cost effective. So one of the ways we approached this was we would have subcontractors that would perform some of the work. So specifically the snow removal of the parking lots, and then the mowing is what we settled on. And then our own personnel will plow the streets and take care of things like tree maintenance, street maintenance in those areas of the island. So we put out a request for qualifications in January of 25. We went through, to find our partners with us, we went through a lot of contractors. We did interviews. We had them submit qualifications, equipment lists, response times, manpower. We settled on Langman Construction for the snow removal scope of work, and Finer Finish Grounds Care, who's our current mowing contractor, for the mowing. And I would like to mention Terry and Josh Blondell are here tonight from Langman Construction. So they'll be excellent partners in this, and we're excited about that. So after we selected our partners, we got numbers from them, we put that into our proposal and submitted our final proposal to the Arsenal. And that was in fall of 2025. And those proposals were compared, stacked against the existing private sector scopes of work and cost schedules with their current contractor. So in late fall of 25, we were notified that our proposal had been tentatively accepted, which is, and again, I'm not sure on all the lingo, but the local garrison, was approved at the local level, and then that has to move its way up through the federal government, and I believe that's kind of where we're at now. But all things considered, we're, proceeding right along with that. All right, so the details of this contract. So this is will be a 10-year contract, just shy of $40 million. So kind of the scope of work here. So we're anticipating bringing on an additional supervisor to oversee this work and nine additional public works personnel. We'll have over $1.5 million in new equipment that we'll procure. And then each year the contract is, between it, there's escalations in it over the 10 years, but you're about $3.5 to $4 million a year over the course of the contract. So another added benefit of this is that's all money that will stay in the local Quad City economy for the most part. So currently, you know, with a lot of these federal contracts, you know, they're opened up any contractor in the entire United States. And so you have, you know, a general contractor that might be in one part of the country, and then they sub certain services out at various bases. So one of the added bonuses of this, that money is going to stay in the Quad Cities economy as opposed to going to other parts of the country. All right, so we're keeping this, you know, kind of at the high altitude, you know, tonight, some of the benefits, but some of the big benefits of this is, you know, we're going to see $1.5 million in new equipment. So all that equipment is not going to be working on the arsenal every single day. So all our residents in Rock Island, they're going to reap the benefits of that surplus capacity in that equipment. For an example, we'll have an end loader. Well, that end loader is predominantly going to be used for loading snow plows with salt in the wintertime. During the summertime, there's not going to be a high level of use for it on the island. So that'll be over at, I guess, what we'll going forward refer to as mainland Rock Island. That'll be over here working for our taxpayers. So this contract includes a new street sweeper, 2 6-ton snow plows. Those are the ones you see with the wing plows going through your neighborhoods. 2 1-ton plows. Those are the smaller trucks. Skid steer and 2 pickup trucks. So that's and again, like the street sweeper is a great example. I don't have it in front of me, but I think the expectation is to sweep the island twice a year. Well, that's going to take you maybe a week each time. So you got 2 weeks on the island and then 50 weeks over, well, you're not sweeping in the wintertime, but, sweeping streets in the rest of our city. And we also could really use a new street sweeper. So this works out well. And then another big benefit is the surplus capacity in our additional personnel. So when you're looking at this, the snow is really the largest portion of this contract as far as labor intensity, right? So we have our staffing set to be able to handle the snow level scope of the work. But that same amount of personnel is not necessarily needed for filling potholes in the summertime. So all those personnel that we do need in the winter but may not need in the summertime will be over in Rock Island, doing other tasks to make the community better. So we'll have a supervisor, a crew leader, and this is kind of a moving target, but 2 equipment operators and 5 maintenance workers. There's also economies of scale with something like this. So as you bring in additional personnel, you have that's more employees paying into the work comp, that's more employees paying into our pension system, that's more employees paying into the general liability. So those are kind of some of those intangible things that you are a little bit harder to display empirically, but again, you're still capturing that economy scale with those economies of scale with those personnel, and then we do have a margin on the contract as well, which would be our profit. So, one of the things, we're all taxpayers in this room, so both at the local level, the state level, and the federal level. So, we're looking, Mike and I, and all of us up here, we obviously have a fiduciary to the residents of the city of Rock Island, but also this helps out the federal government as well. They are able to save money, and we know we can provide a high level of service, we can provide quality service, and so this is really your definition of kind of like a win-win, across the board. The federal government's going to benefit, our local economy is going to benefit, a Rock Island business is going to benefit, and so it's just really just a win across the board. And then again, that money is going to go to people that live in this community and businesses in this community, and it's going to stay here as opposed to going to other parts of the country. Any questions?
Yes, I do have one. For the personnel that will be hired on, will they be stationed on the arsenal?
Yes. And that may fluctuate with some seasonality, but that supervisor will be stationed at they'll punch in for all intents and purposes in and out at the arsenal
Okay.
every day. But again, there's a seasonality element to that, right? So we might say, hey, you 5, we're going to send you over to municipal services for a couple months and you're going to work there. So it'll vary, but we will have a contingency of personnel that punch in there every single day.
Okay.
Luke, does that same hold true for the other 9 employees that you're hiring as well, or will they, the other 9 that are being hired as well, does that hold true for that, or will they be out of here? Like,
They will be on the island for the most part, but they will, again, we will, depending on what the operations are, we may say, hey, you 4, we're gonna have you just punch in over at municipal. When I say municipal services, I mean down at Public Works. So we could very well, like, hey, we just had a windstorm go through, you guys are cleaning up trees in the streets, so.
okay,
So the only difference between them and normal public work staff is that they'll just be on the arsenal.
That's correct, yeah.
Okay,
They'll be
okay.
same job classification, same payroll,
Seniority,
yep. All seniority, all that will be exactly the same. They'll just, right now we have employees that punch in at the water department. We have people that punch in down at street department. Well, these guys will just punch in over at the island.
So with us taking on, which we're proud to do, we want to support the local garrison and build a strong relationship. But with that said, with us taking on this responsibility, as you said, it's the size of the village of Milan, will we be able to sustain Rock Island?
Yes, that's a great question, without a doubt. So the city of Rock Island is going to have a net benefit because of this contract. So the amount of personnel that are going to be on the island, there's going to be surplus capacity in those personnel based on the scope of work over there. So it's fully staffed so they can be self-sustaining in the wintertime. The personnel over there with our contracted partners will handle all the snow. During the summertime and the rest of the year, those employees will be trickled in throughout our operations, providing service for the residents over here.
Okay.
So,
One more question for you. Now, this is somewhat down to the detail, but for the personnel who will be working on the arsenal, is there anything extra that they will have to do with their City of Rock Island employment to even be allowed to work on the arsenal?
that's a good question. I mean, right now, all our people are able to go over there. Before you're hired on here, it's a background check. Federal government's the same way. So anything that would disqualify you at the federal level is also going to disqualify you.
The only difference is the employees that are on the arsenal will be required to have a real ID to gain access onto the arsenal. We
Okay,
currently
yes, that's good,
we currently don't require that for City of Rock Island.
Okay. And that's something that with the HR department, that's something that we want to be careful on, because we don't want to discriminate by any means people who can't get on the arsenal. You understand what I'm saying? So if we're hiring people within the City of Rock Island specifically for this mission, we wouldn't want to separate them from the normal hiring pool of the normal requirements for the city. Do you kind of get what I'm saying?
I mean, we would have to follow the laws. So, yeah, to your point, I don't see anything that would, if you're disqualified for working on the island, I presume you would also be disqualified for working at the City of Rock Island.
Okay, same thing.
Yeah. So I don't anticipate that being an issue, if that answers your question.
And we'll be following our collective labor bargaining agreement.
Right, yeah,
With
I
the
mean,
personnel that will be going over to the arsenal as far as seniority and that kind of thing as well.
Yeah, everything would be in the framework of the bargaining agreement as it stands. So,
Any more questions?
Yes, so of that $40 million, what percentage or what amount is going to Langman Construction and what amount to Finer Finish? Guesstimate, you don't have to be down to the dollar.
So Langman Construction's scope of work is roughly $800,000, and Finer Finish would be roughly 450,000. And again, there's an escalation on that.
Per
For each-
year or
Per
over the
year?
course?
Per year.
Okay, per
Per
year.
year.
Okay.
Per year.
Okay. Okay.
And just to make one thing clear about the snow removal scope of work, Langman, this was bid at the federal government's request as a hard number. So
As a what?
as a hard number.
Okay.
It's not per occurrence.
Okay.
So Langman is assuming a level of risk with this contract. So if they're getting paid the same amount, whether it's 50 inches of snow or 20 inches of snow.
Yeah, Langman is a good city partner and has been for a long time. So, yeah.
So based on the current contract, we are netting a profit. We haven't had any losses.
Correct. You're talking about our existing
Yeah,
IGSAs? That is correct, yes.
because that would be my concern, that the general fund would have to supplement if there happen to be any losses. But we got a pretty good track record with the current contract.
That's right, yeah. And I'm happy to provide some additional details, but that scenario is not very likely in this contract.
So one more question. With speaking on the life of the contract, is anything in there protecting us from inflation, the cost of fuel, the cost of, our union contracts, our payroll going up? Is there anything within there that can?
So that's a great question. So in this contract, I worked closely with Rob and HR, Jessica and finance. So each year there's an escalation based on what we've seen historically, based on healthcare, wages, workers' comp, all that. So yes, we are protected. There is a cushion and escalation for each year of the contract.
Okay.
And for an example, when I was putting this together, I did not anticipate seeing days of sub $3 a gallon gas. So the fuel in this was factored at $5 a gallon.
Okay.
So.
Okay. Any more questions? Dylan? Okay. Anybody else? Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Agenda item 7.
A, report from the mayor's office regarding the appointment of Amanda Torres as city clerk beginning January 26, 2026.
You ready?
Motion to approve the appointment is recommended.
Second.
I have a first and a second. Is there any discussion? Clerk, please call the roll.
Alderperson Barnes.
Yes.
Swanson.
Aye.
Parker.
Aye.
Polis. Healy.
Aye.
Evans.
Yes.
And Hurt.
Aye.
Congratulations. Yeah, congratulations. I was gonna mess around with it a little bit and say that, her calling the roll was a conflict of interest. But we're all gonna let that one go. Congratulations, Amanda. We're happy to have you. Yes, ma'am. All right, be right with you. And then I'm gonna, this right here. Let's go have some fun. All right. I'm just gonna hold it if I have to. Okay. Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Amanda Torres,
I, Amanda Torres,
having been appointed to the office of city clerk
having been appointed to the office of city clerk
in the city of Rock Island,
in the city of Rock Island,
in the county of Rock Island, aforesaid,
in the county of Rock Island, aforesaid,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and that I will faithfully discharge
and that I will faithfully discharge
the duties of the office of city clerk
the duties of the office of city clerk
to the best of my abilities,
to the best of my abilities,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Congratulations on that.
Thank you so much.
And thank you for the opportunity. That was my first opportunity to swear someone in. So thank you for that. Okay. Agenda item 8, public comment. Thank you, sir. Okay, this evening we have 3 names. For the first name, Mr. Tim Presley.
Good evening. I'm not a resident. I own the property in the new development area of the casino. I have an easement across there. A few people are shocked to see me here because they knew I was on vacation. I had to leave my wife, who's dealing with her mother that has dementia and her father that's blind, to come back to deal with some, I'd rather use a word, but to be appropriate here, I'll be kind. During last week, on Martin Luther King Day, a gate was put across the DOT lane. The gate that was told by the DOT to you that you could not do. I am lucky that I have contacts within and everything. They sent out an email to have that gate removed, to block me from my legal access to my property. I made my way back. And when I got back, I found that the locks were torn off. I was again locked from my property off the blue gate that goes into the property. Is this as someone being upset that they can't have their way? I've been very cordial to this group and everything, but I will cut the lock off. I will have the media there when I do it, because I do have my rights. And I'm sorry, as soon as I got here, people knew exactly why I was here. And they said, why didn't I call them? Why do I have to call to have access to my property when they knew exactly why I was here? They were just shocked that I showed up, that I should have been on vacation, because I'm on the easement group, and they knew I wasn't here. Was it to prevent from people seeing the development being torn apart with the in-lawyers? Actually ripping into close to the mound area and the parcel 4, which was supposed to be set aside in a great, speech, how they're going to support all this environmental and everything. Well, it's gone. And now we look at what you want as a development there. You are so far from having anything done. You still, to this day, you don't even have your permit for your water. Yes, you had a meeting today with a concept, but it isn't the fault of the Public Works, because he can only produce to the state what he is represented by the development, what they need, because he only has one shot to get this done. You have no access from the interstate. There has been nothing, one permit or nothing, anything. to be into this property. That's a minimum of 2 years for any of this to be done. And if there's a flood, that access will be even longer. People are doing or not paying attention to get things done on their agenda and not what is correct. There is people on this, in this group here and everything, that are very cordial and very respectful. My wife wanted me to come back because there's people she does not trust. Likes to use different words, modify the meanings. Well, I'm here. You know, you poke a bear returns, and there's other bears. So I expect this to be taken care of immediately. That's all.
Thank you, sir. Clay Cone.
Hello again. You have to deal with my ugly mug, but I'm here to talk about the problem with human feces downtown Rock Island. Now, I know we had a warming shelter open up in Moline that would provide shelter for 60 people for most of the time, but there are still an estimated 40 to 50 people downtown, and they still need to go somewhere. I've gotten these numbers from the third place, and in fact, even after the warming shelter got put in place, today was one of their busiest days, period. It was a very busy day for them, so I'm not sure how much the effect that this shelter is having on the unhoused population and, you know, reducing it and providing and spreading it out. But it doesn't, just from the initial numbers, it doesn't seem to be doing much. But there's still a lot of poop downtown. My neighbors and I have not seen any outhouses put in. We still have people forced to defecate in the streets. I've heard my neighbors say they're coming. I personally emailed Alderman Parker. He said they were not. And then Mr. Harris, you told me that Mayor Harris, you told me that you looked into it and the Downtown Alliance was supposed to take care of it. Personally, I don't have a good experience with the Downtown Alliance because when I put in 138 reports on C-Clicks Fix, on each single one was a turd, also one fish, which was weird. Over a third of them were not taken care of. So we don't have an effective way to deal with poop. I can't go around taking pictures of feces every day. It wastes my time, it's disgusting, and I don't want to do it. I shouldn't have to do it. We all shouldn't have to do that. So my question is are they coming or are they not? I just want an answer. If they aren't coming, well, I'll have to deal with it. And me and my neighbors, local business owners and landlords alike will be very frustrated. So this problem is still here, and even on my stroll over here, Mr. Healy, you talked about how I walked here 4 blocks in the freezing cold. I still saw a concerning amount of feces. It's just, whatever we're doing, it's not working. And I have had some conversations with Alderman Parker as well that porta potty, and he has mentioned that porta potties will not work because they've been tried before, and there was tipping. They were tipped. Well, we can tie those down. You know that, right? We can tie them together or tie them down to the ground to prevent tipping. That's just creative thinking and using engineering to figure things out. Some of the other ones were drugs and prostitution. I'm sorry, they're still happening. Porta potties are not. Unfortunately, I have to say that my neighbors have seen multiple times favors happening in the back alleys. I've seen needles around. So drugs and prostitution, they're still happening. Porta potties not. And the last one was one person wrapped themselves up with toilet paper like a mummy. I don't have an answer for preventative self-mummification, but I don't think it's that big of a deal. So these issues can be solved with porta potties. I understand that there can be vandalism with them, but there are methods we can use with some creative thinking to prevent vandalism of them. So why aren't we doing that? I don't know what's happening with it. I'm just sick and tired of crap everywhere. And if these issues can be solved, that's great. But it seems like the mentality here is when it gets hard, quit. We tried once, we failed, let's not do it again. No, let's try again and do it better. If I keep going out and doing see, click, fix and taking pictures of poop, that doesn't solve the problem. It's a half measure. Half measures half measures are bad work, and bad work makes rework. So we're going to have to keep sending people out to pick up every individual turd, and that's going to waste time, money, and it's still unsanitary because who knows how long it's going to take for the Downtown Alliance to get down to it. So really that's it. We got people out there freezing, and they have to go in complete lack of dignity. It's sad for everybody. I talk to these people and I hear their stories, and it's very sad that they have no dignity to relieve themselves in the most basic ways that all of us have that luxury. So that's sad. That's really sad, and honestly, this is how we get cholera outbreaks, typhus, typhoid, various other fecal-oral route diseases. The city has to do something, and they have to do it fast, and they have to do it effectively. And at this point, I'd be repeating myself, so I'll step down, but I really hope that you guys put out these porta potties in a relatively soon manner, because I can't take this anymore. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Cohn. And, I will say that I want to apologize because I heard you a couple weeks ago at the town hall meeting, and I'm sorry that you would have to come back and speak the same thing again, calling for decency, calling for cleanliness of the city. I apologize about that, and that's something that I will look into this week, and you have my word on that, sir.
Oh yeah, I'll be back next week, or I'll be back next meeting if it's not done.
Well,
You'll keep seeing it.
no need for that, but yeah, okay. Thank you, sir.
Mayor, we have been collecting prices and looking at potential locations.
Did you hear that?
Working on it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, Mr. Kai Swanson.
Thank you, Mayor. I'm Kai Swanson. Rock Island's my hometown and city of residence. Mayor and city council members, thank you for this opportunity. People who know me know that I love NPR and our Quad Cities NPR station, WVIK. Last Wednesday, I was shocked when an NPR newscaster made the almost unforgivable mistake of referring to the Prime Minister of Sweden as the Swiss Prime Minister. After clutching my pearls, I sent an email to corrections@npr.org pointing out the error. So no matter how fond I may be of a source when it comes to error, I will always try to nudge it back towards accuracy. Last week's memorial service at Rock Island's Martin Luther King Community Center was as ever inspiring, with the Reverend Corey Parker delivering one of the most moving addresses I've ever heard in that setting. I was also very proud of our community's young people who spoke with passion about Rock Island and its challenges. But I know that passion alone cannot create effective and sustainable solutions to those challenges, and indeed, it's harder to find such solutions when our passions rest on inaccuracy. Such inaccuracies persist in the conversation about homelessness in the Quad Cities. The first is the most tragic. Repeated references were made to last November's death of a fellow Quad citizen in a vacant house in Moline. These comments are made in such a way as to impute guilt on the part of at least 6 members of the City Council. The truth is that this neighbor was not locked out of a shelter by the City of Rock Island. Indeed, she could have stayed in a shelter that night, but toxicology reports that are on file with our County Coroner Brian Gustafson indicate she made a decision to return to a vacant structure from which she'd already been evicted so that she could practice her addiction, resulting in her death. This was a terrible tragedy, but circulating false and misleading information about it only adds to its injustice. Another implication from last Monday was that this council closed a shelter. This is also untrue. Last year's emergency shelter closed on the date agreed to by Project Now. By that time, the experiment had proved how unsustainable it is to put poorly supported persons, some of whom are confronted by addiction, and serious mental health issues, together in too large a number to be served even by Project Now. The resulting impacts on public facilities and businesses in the downtown cannot simply be waved away. You can't also simply wave away the support this council has given to those agencies already providing 62 shelter beds in Rock Island, or the way you have, through city services and other means, supported the Robert Young Center, the Third Place, and Nest Cafe, not to mention the $250,000 given to Project Now to improve its facilities in downtown Rock Island. That $250,000 would not have happened without the leadership of this council. Look, crowd cheers and Facebook likes are great for releasing endorphins, but they're not so effective in creating policy. Despite loud allegations that this council's approach has been thoughtless and callous, we all heard last Wednesday's announcement of the new emergency shelter in downtown Moline. And let's be honest, that good news would not have happened if this council had bowed to the loud and continued the failed approaches of the past, until you all said, enough is enough. Other city councils in this community were quite content to let homelessness be a Rock Island problem. But that has changed. And by all means, kudos to Moline Mayor Sangeeta Rayapati and the Moline Council for stepping up and adding 60 new beds to the 62 beds that have been and continue to be available in Rock Island. Moline deserves our thanks as we move toward a truly regional approach. And kudos, too, for the activists in these chambers and elsewhere for keeping a light shining on the most vulnerable in our community, though I would ask that everyone please be more thoughtful about promulgating inaccuracies and malicious falsehoods, especially for political gain. But most importantly, to you, the City Council, you've received a lot of criticism, most of which has been as loud as it has been baseless. Here is one not so loud voice, nonetheless backed up by facts, saying, thanks for staying the course. Well done. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, sir. Agenda item 9, update Rock Island. Update Rock Island. State of the City Address. The annual State of the City Address will be held this Thursday, January 29th at Bally's Casino and Hotel, 777 Bally Boulevard. Join me, Mayor Harris, for my first address as I update the public on accomplishments and upcoming goals. This year's theme is Commitment to Community. Doors open at 11:30 a.m. and the program starts at noon. To register, go to rockislandstateofthecity.eventbrite.com. Sweetheart Shop Hop, set for February 7th in downtown Rock Island. The Rock Island Downtown Alliance is excited to present the Sweetheart Shop Hop on Saturday, February 7th. The Valentine's theme event encourages the community to show up and have fun while they shop, dine, drink, and socialize at their favorite participating businesses. Pick up a stamp card from one of the 15 participating businesses. Visit at least 5 locations by 3 p.m., then head to the Rock Island Ale House to redeem your card for a complimentary beverage and to be automatically entered to win exciting prizes. Stay active this winter with Rock Island Parks and Recreation. Registration is now open for winter and spring activities. The new Rock Island Parks and Recreation Activity Guide is packed with fun things to do this season, like the Kids Sweetheart Dance, our new spring fling for active older adults, more than 20 land and water fitness classes, expanded youth sports, adaptive recreation, swim lessons, and so much more. Go to www.rigov.org/activity guide to register for activities. Thank you. Agenda item 10.
Report from the Traffic Engineering Committee regarding a request from the Municipal Services Division to ban parking in front of 1718 and 1720 23rd Avenue from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. on Trash Collection Day, first reading.
Motion to consider the ordinance.
Second.
I have a first and a second. Is there any discussion?
Did you do your ride-along?
Yes, I did.
How did that go?
It was very exciting. It was almost like an amusement ride, but yes. Anyway, we had a chance to look at the area, and then I also talked to the resident and kind of explained to him why they were requesting to ban the parking. Of course, he wasn't too happy, but he did agree that he and his wife would move their cars over to another area.
And it's just that one day? Yeah,
Yes,
Just that
yes,
one
just
day?
one day.
Yeah. I'm glad you had an opportunity to do the ride-along and, more importantly, talk to the residents. So I feel confident. Any more discussion? Roll call, please.
Alderperson Barnes.
Aye.
Swanson.
Aye.
Parker.
Aye.
Pulis.
Aye.
Healy.
Aye.
Evans.
Yes.
And Hurt.
Aye.
Agenda item B.
Report from the Fire Department regarding an ordinance amending Chapter 6 Fire Protection and by creating a new Article 5 Lift Assist Services first reading.
Motion to consider the ordinance.
Second.
There's a first and a second. Is there any discussion?
Chief, would you like to explain this a little?
So just with change of management with certain medical facilities, we've seen ebbs and flows of helping the private businesses lift and move individuals. The Rock Island Fire Department, of course, is an emergency service, so we're trying to mitigate our call volume. We had a significant increase in calls this past year. We're always trying to eliminate work injuries that cost a substantial amount. So kind of what we're doing is we're encouraging that the facilities purchase the equipment, train their personnel, maintain the equipment that they have in order to lift and move patients on a routine basis. At any time that they have a medical emergency or a trauma event, they're more than happy to call us. That's what we do for a living. The biggest item is that this does not affect the regular residents of the city. So anybody that needs our assistance to come out, we work with them. If it becomes a continual issue with a specific person within the city, between the police department and the hospital, we try to get them into case management to keep them in their home as long as possible.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Anything else? Roll call, please.
Alderperson Barnes.
Aye.
Swanson.
Aye.
Parker.
Aye.
Pulis.
Aye.
Healy.
Aye.
Evans.
Yes.
And Hurt.
Aye.
Agenda item C.
Report from the Community Development Department regarding a property purchase at 902 11th Street for $50,000 plus closing costs, first reading.
Motion to approve the property purchase. Authorize city manager to execute the agreement subject to minor attorney modifications.
Second.
There's a first and a second. Is there any discussion? I would like to ask Miles, what is that building? What is that building? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, thank you. Any more discussion? Roll call, please.
Alderperson Barnes.
Aye.
Swanson.
Aye.
Parker.
Aye.
Pulis.
Aye.
Healy.
Aye.
Evans.
Yes.
And Hurt.
Aye.
Agenda item 11.
Consent agenda items A through C.
Motion to approve consent agenda items A through C.
Second.
There's been a first and a second. Is there any discussion? Clerk, please call the roll.
Alderperson Barnes.
Aye.
Swanson.
Aye.
Parker.
Aye.
Pulis.
Aye.
Healy.
Aye.
Evans.
Yes.
And Hurt.
Aye.
Agenda item 12.
12A through C, claims A through C, I can read them individually if anyone wishes.
Motion to allow claims A through C.
Second.
There's a first and a second. Is there any discussion?
Due to the nature of my employment, I need to recuse myself from this vote.
Roll call, please.
Alderperson Barnes.
Aye.
Swanson.
Aye.
Pulis.
Aye.
Healy.
Aye.
Evans.
Yes.
And Hurt.
Aye.
Agenda item D.
Report from the Finance Department regarding claims for the week of December 26th through December 31st in the amount of $765,920.17.
Motion to allow the claims.
Second.
There's been a first and a second. Is there any discussion?
I will recuse myself from this vote because it includes a check register, which has a check issued to my family's business that was approved through the CURLIF, and council does not have the authority, though, to issue the check in question. This is just an authorization of that register and not the check itself.
Is there any more discussion? Roll call, please.
Alderperson Barnes.
No.
Swanson.
Aye.
Parker.
Aye.
Pulis. Evans.
No.
And Hurt.
Aye.
Agenda item E.
Report from the Public Works Department regarding payments 5, 6, and 7 to Crawford Company, Rock Island, Illinois, for the Sunset Marina Electrical Upgrades Project in the amount of $87,018.53.
Motion to allow the claim?
Second.
I have a first and a second. Is there any discussion? Clerk, please call the roll.
Alderperson Barnes.
Aye.
Swanson.
Aye.
Parker.
Aye.
Pulis.
Aye.
Healy. Evans.
Yes.
And Hurt.
Aye.
Agenda item F.
Report from the Finance Department regarding payment in the amount of $15,759 for the renewal of the ClearGov software subscription from January 1st, 2026 through December 31st, 2026.
Motion to allow the claim.
Second.
I have a first and a second. Is there any discussion? Roll call, please.
Alderperson Barnes.
Aye.
Swanson.
Aye.
Parker.
Aye.
Pulis.
Aye.
Healy.
Aye.
Evans.
Yes.
And Hurt.
Aye.
Agenda item G.
Report from the Police Department regarding a request to purchase Panasonic Toughbooks through CDS Office Technologies in the amount of $92,275.
Move to approve purchase.
Second.
I have a first and a second. Is there any discussion?
Not specific to the police department's procurement here, but on the subject of IT asset needs, where is the conversation regarding creating sustainable funding to meet our IT asset needs?
Right. We currently have a replacement fund for vehicles. We'd like to replicate that for building and for IT assets, and, you know, that's in the works. The real challenge there isn't setting it up, it's funding it.
So we currently don't have a fund nor funding dedicated to replacing IT assets that inevitably break or become outdated.
We budget for it on a pay-as-you-go basis, so to speak.
Any more discussion? Clerk, please call the roll.
Alderperson Barnes.
Aye.
Swanson.
Aye.
Parker.
Aye.
Pulis.
Aye.
Healy.
Aye.
Evans.
Yes.
And Hurt.
Aye.
Agenda item 13.
A report from the Public Works Department requesting authorization to extend the 2025 pavement marking program with Ostrom Painting and Sandblasting, Rock Island, Illinois through 2026.
Motion to approve the contract extension and authorize the city manager to execute the document subject to minor attorney modifications.
Second.
I have a first and a second. Is there any discussion? Clerk, please call the roll.
Alderperson Barnes.
Aye.
Swanson.
Aye.
Parker.
Aye.
Pulis.
Aye.
Healy.
Aye.
Evans.
Yes.
And Hurt.
Aye.
Agenda item B.
Report from the Public Works Department requesting approval for an intergovernmental support agreement with the Rock Island Arsenal for snow removal, parking lots and sidewalks, grounds maintenance, and road improvements.
Motion to approve the agreement, authorize the city manager to execute the document, subject to minor attorney modifications, and authorize the subcontracting agreements as recommended.
Second.
There's been a first and a second. Is there any discussion?
Due to the nature of my employment, I need to recuse myself from this vote.
Clerk, please call the roll.
Alderperson Barnes.
Aye.
Swanson.
Aye.
Pulis.
Aye.
Healy.
Aye.
Evans.
Yes.
And Hurt.
Aye.
Agenda item C.
Report from the IT Department regarding a contract with Factor Technology Solutions for network administration and monitoring services.
Motion to approve the contract and authorize the city manager to execute the document subject to minor attorney modifications.
There's been a first and a second. Is there any discussion? Roll call, please.
Alderperson Barnes.
Aye.
Swanson.
Aye.
Parker.
Aye.
Pulis.
Aye.
Healy.
Aye.
Evans.
Yes.
And Hurt.
Aye.
Agenda item 14.
Report from the Finance Department regarding a budget adjustment to the TIF 5 Columbia Park Fund 403 in the amount of $325,393.
Second.
There's been a first and a second. Is there any discussion?
I would just like to say thanks to both departments to providing the details behind the budget adjustment since it's so early in the beginning of the year, so thank you.
Thank you, staff. Any more discussion? Roll call, please.
Alderperson Barnes.
Aye.
Swanson.
Aye.
Parker.
Aye.
Pulis. Healy.
Aye.
Evans.
Yes.
And Hurt.
Aye.
Agenda item 15.
Report from the Mayor's Office regarding appointments to the Police Community Relations Commission and a reappointment to the Rock Island County Metropolitan Mass Transit District Board of Trustees.
Move to approve the appointments and reappointment as recommended.
I have a first and a second. Is there any discussion?
I got some discussion. I've been getting a lot of comments of people wanting to know how do they get on these commissions and boards. Is there a way we can come up with some way to highlight that to the community? Just to give them a little bit more information on how they actually follow through to get on these particular boards.
And you know, good point. Maybe, I know that the MLK Center, I know they have a good, what do you call it? Community board. Maybe we can put information there as well as the library and any other place that you think of. And maybe I can get with Sarah so we can start sending out reminders on our Facebook page from time to time. Would that, think that'll work?
Something, we've just got to figure out how, because there's a lot of people that aren't aware, and then we've got a lot of boards and commissions that are actually lacking due to the fact that we don't have people to fill some of those positions. Sure. And so it's just a perfect opportunity to start promoting that.
And that's something that we can put at all of our libraries, all of them. Okay, thank you.
So just a comment on that. It is hard to find it on the website.
Okay.
Because I've found the link, because there's some appointments coming up. And it was very difficult, so if we could potentially move it somewhere, but also there is no hard copy to fill out. It's all online. So I think anybody who does not have access to a computer or is familiar with technology is really going to struggle with that. So if we also could potentially have a PDF, that would be very beneficial too.
Thank you. Point taken.
And we can have copies at the clerk's office too, so they could just stop in and fill out an application.
Any more discussion? Roll call, please.
Alderperson Barnes.
Aye.
Swanson.
Aye.
Parker.
Aye.
Pulis.
Aye.
Healy.
Aye.
Evans.
Yes.
And Hurt.
Aye.
Agenda item 16. Does anyone have any new business to discuss? I know.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, well, hey, I know I have something. A few weeks ago, you know, the city of Rock Island, we partnered with the city of Moline to provide hotel stays for our unhoused population. And that turned out to be very appreciated by our unhoused population. But the point that I'm bringing up with this, I want to bring up Nicole Matta. She is a City of Rock Island employee, and she went above and beyond her duties that night. What she did, we were at 3 different hotels, 3 different locations, and one by one, she checked in over 50 people through the course of the weekend. And this was all after hours. This was all in the code. So when you see employees like that doing things that they don't have to do and still going above and beyond, when you see people like that looking for an opportunity to serve the citizens of Rock Island outside of your normal confinement of your day job, I want to applaud that. So at the very least, you know, council, please give Nicole Matta a round of applause, please. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
I guess I'd like to address something that was brought up by a gentleman in the crowd under public comment. Do we have a timeline? I know we're addressing the outhouse porta potty issue downtown. Do we have a speculative timeline on how soon, or I don't know if it's directed to you or public?
Mike's been working on that. Mike, do you have an update on it?
Yeah, I would say we can get them installed this week. The issue is Jack and I from the Downtown Alliance need to meet and actually get the locations where we're going to place them. We had some locations that figured out previously. The business owners were in favor of those locations, and then we were getting close to installing them, they changed their opinion. And so, you know, it needs to work for everyone.
Sure.
It won't resolve the entire issue. I mean, we're still going to have issues. But again, just because they're installed doesn't mean they're going to be used
Yeah.
properly or by everyone. But again, when we have had issues with porta potties being downtown previously, at the prior bus transfer station, we had several issues when they were installed there. But we will make sure that we get them addressed. We are going to install 2 outhouses. It just where they will be installed is not defined yet.
Okay.
I
How is that
appreciate your
funded?
work on that. And I was only asking because I wanted to get further clarification for the gentleman that brought that up this evening. So, thank you.
Yeah.
How's that going to be funded, Mike?
They're about $500 a month for the 2, and so I don't know that yet. I'll be looking at city manager for that.
Go ahead, Tom.
Yeah,
I hope not out of my budget.
Take it out of contingency funding. We use contingency funds if necessary.
So, Mike, are we doing anything to address the concerns that Mr. Cohn had about it could tip, it could, you know, like, is there a way that we can secure it so we're not creating, you know, any unnecessary problems for us?
We'll work with the vendor who we purchase them from to make sure that they're installed properly. These will be ADA accessible restrooms, so they'll be the bigger style. They will be harder to tip over, I would say, but again, we'll make sure that they're installed in a way that doesn't happen.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
I'm sure they have some sort of method that they can tap con them into the concrete or something like that, but we'll make sure that they're installed to where they won't blow away or be tipped over. I can't guarantee they won't be tipped over though, so if they do, just saying.
Anything else, council? Okay, agenda item 17. I'll call this, can I get a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn to February 9th, 2026.
All in favor? All opposed? Meeting adjourned.